Hello, welcome back to another episode of Cars Drive with Christ. I'm Arnett. This is my wife Rietta, and today we're going to be continuing Matthew 13 with another parable, and this one is the parable of the weeds. So it starts Matthew 13, verse 24. He put another parable before them, saying, "The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while his men were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. So when the plants came up and bore grain, then the weeds appeared also. And the servants of the master of the house came and said to him, 'Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have weeds?' He said to them, 'The enemy has done this.' So the servants said to him, 'Then do you want us to go and gather them?' But he said, 'No, lest in gathering the weeds you root up the wheat along with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at harvest time I will tell the reapers, gather the weeds first and bind them in bundles to be burned, but gather the wheat into my barn.'" You have anything for that part?
Not yet.
All right. And now we're going to go to verse 36 of chapter 13 as well. And this is the parable of the weeds explained. Then he left the crowds and went into the house, and his disciples came to him, saying, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds of the field." He answered, "The one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed is the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are angels. Just as the weeds are gathered and burned with fire, so will it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all causes of sin and all lawbreakers, throw them into the fiery furnace. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears, let him hear."
So I like that he ends it off with, "He who has ears, let him hear," like we talked about last time. It's not necessarily saying, like, if you have ears, you're going to understand. It's saying, if you have the ears to hear what Jesus is saying, read between the lines, then you will understand. And what this parable relates to me, it always makes me think of Revelations, the end of times prophecies. Obviously, because the parable is about heaven and hell. I just like the way he summed it up for the people that were listening. He kind of made it very simple, very not a lot of convoluted minutiae. It was not like, oh, this circumstance is this. It's very, either you're a weed or you're a plant. Either you go in the barn or you go in the fire. And it's very black and white. I think it's a very good, like, outline for people who are kind of newer to the faith.
I agree, because I do like how he even said, like, the part about his men were sleeping, saying like his servants got kind of tired, they weren't tending to the field the way they were supposed to, and the enemy was able to come in and kind of creep in and do stuff. And it's the same with us as followers of Christ. We're supposed to be kind of doing our best to get the field ready, put the seeds down, help them grow.
He calls us to be awake.
Yeah, to be awake and doing that. And so obviously the more of us that are asleep or not really watching and trying to plant those seeds, you know, not trying to go out there, spread the word, tell people about Jesus Christ. And the more we don't do that, the more, in my opinion, the enemy has time to put the weeds in, because like you said, the men were sleeping, so his enemy came in and grew weeds. And because of that, obviously, he said you can't really take one without the other being uprooted as well. So right now you can't do anything. But like you said, at the end of days, his servants, the angels, are gonna come grab all the good grain and all the good stuff from the field, which are all of the disciples, the followers of Christ that gave their life to him. They're going to be the ones that get taken up with the angels and get to go to heaven. Well, all the ones who denied him, were unbelievers, they're going to be the ones who are like the weeds and get sent to the fire, which is weeping and gnashing of teeth. So I do like this parable because it really lets us know kind of the difference of why right now it's all intermingled. You get the good, you get the bad. There's no really gray area that happens, and that's why a lot of people who are like, oh, why does this bad thing happen? It's because right now it kind of has to, because there's still bad people. But at the end of it, when we're all separated out of our field, obviously, which he said is the world, once we're all separated on the world, it'll be the good stuff versus the bad stuff. And once the bad stuff's gone, you won't ever have to really hear, oh, why did he let this happen? Why did this evil thing happen? Because there won't be any more evil to be spread, and there won't be weeds anymore. There'll just be all the good grain. It'll be good soil the whole time, so it'll be a lot better. And so that's all for me. I like it because it really tells you the difference between the two. So
I also think that the garden can also be applied to our hearts. If you are asleep, then the devil can sow weeds in your heart. So you need to be awake and actively gardening your faith and being in the Word and working with Jesus to try and keep the weeds out of your garden.
yeah, I definitely agree with that because I feel like a lot of Christians have this misunderstanding that you're just, oh, I believed when I was 5, so I'm always a Christian. No, you, just because when you were younger you may have believed because your mom or grandma or someone took you to church doesn't mean now.
Or even if you passively believe.
Yeah, or you passively believe. You need to be in your words. You need to be praying. You need to be cultivating the field, like she said, of your heart. That way there's no room for any evil such as unforgiveness, like in one of our last episodes, any anger, any hatred, no negative stuff, because the more you have God in your heart, the less chance the devil has to really come and sow any weeds in there. So for all the, I guess, so-called lukewarm Christians, it's better to start really getting back into your word, getting back into praying every day, even if it's like a little 2-minute prayer, just talking to him.
While you're driving,
it's better than nothing, because that 2 minutes with God, maybe a day, every other day, if you have to do it that way starting off, but just being able to talk to him for 2 minutes a day is better than not talking to him at all, because it'll start, and then reading his word, at least one chapter, maybe a few verses, is gonna really start changing the way you go about life. It'll change your mindset, your heart. You might start doing things or thinking about stuff you never thought you would, until you started reading, because there's actually a study that says after 4 days of reading the Bible consistently, people started to notice a change in their life. And the more you read it, the more your life changes, because you're bringing God back into it.
And remember, he is our bridegroom. We are his bride. Would you want to be married to someone that didn't give you any attention?
Yeah. And that's all for me. You have anything else? All right, well, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something from it. Or if you have your own comments, opinions, put them in the comment section. DM us privately if you just want to talk to us kind of one-on-one or whatever. Just DM us, and we'll put the verses and chapter over in a slideshow next to this. And thank you guys. Enjoy your day.